Hi, welcome to another live episode of Two Cranky Guys. That's Ty.
That's Will. And we're going to be vibing on the Flash and a few other things too, I think, right?
We are. Welcome back. We've had a break. We've had a little bit of a lull,
a
quiet time to spend with our families. That
felt weird. I didn't like that. Spend time with our families.
Yeah, that's what we're calling.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Spending time with our families.
There was no Flash.
There was no Flash. What do we do on a Tuesday? So there's no Flaro. There's nothing. There was nothing. There was no Arrow.
No,
I don't even as soon as I was like, hey, this is the last Flash episode. Well, I better watch Arrow. Oh, Arrow's coming out, so I'm starting to watch Arrow. Right.
Word.
Which is cool. That's
Word.
cool. Right.
I caught some of that. Those early Arrows.
Mm-hmm.
I caught some of those early. The first three seasons, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, I've watched that and I liked it, but I kind of got away from it, and maybe I should start getting back into it.
You know, it's getting pretty good.
Awesome.
Originally the Arrow series really turned me off because there's all this really strange family drama
it's
stuff
Batman
going on.
in green.
Yeah, it's Batman in green. Pretty much. Yeah. But anyway, with Flash, who was always in red and gold.
Flash was astounding.
Was a lot of fun.
You're coming back to us. We came back to the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
It was astounding. We had the return of our Flash. We had an episode called Potential Energy.
Right.
Where we got to see a classic villain.
The Turtle. Yeah. And I think Cisco, if he's going to be the guy who's going to be giving these names out, if he's going to be attributed with these now, obviously these are comic book names, you know.
Right.
So the Turtle was really weak as far as the name goes. As a power, pretty good. Like, he really gave Barry a run for his money on that whole thing. Because the Turtle's powers don't stop time, and he's not a speedster. He actually makes people lose their energy to be able to move. So they cited Turtle as something that could be a potential way to take down Zoom. And I think after seeing Turtle's powers, there's a very good chance of that.
Exactly.
Definitely gave Flash a hard time. You know?
He did. He gave Flash a really hard time. So on top of that, in addition, we should say, there was a whole subplot there happening with Wells that was really, as far as I'm concerned, as much of a filler as the Turtle was to this episode. We've also got to keep in mind that this subplot that had to deal with Wells kind of working on his own. No, he doesn't want Cisco's help. No, he doesn't want anyone else to know what's going on, because if anyone starts sniffing around, we're going to discover that Wells is doing what he has to do to get his daughter back. Right.
And we kind of get a little sense of that whenever he's talking to Cisco, and he's laying this whole sob story on him about Zoom and his daughter, and how Zoom got his name, and Cisco, being the nice guy that he is, says, hey man, anytime you need it, I can vibe for you to make sure she's good. And he's like, I know she's alive. And I think if anybody but Cisco would have been there, they would have been like, oh really?
Especially Joe. You pointed that out to me earlier. If Joe had been there, that would have blown the whole thing open. Joe would have been like, how do you know your daughter's alive? Do you have a power that I don't know about?
You seem really confident about that.
Let's peel this back. Yeah. Hey, look, a banana. Joe would have been all over that sucker.
Could have been an onion, but you never know. So the thing about Wells is, at the end, they've locked up Turtle. Turtle's in the pipeline.
Right. He's contained. That's
Wells goes back in, takes some sample. I think it's just a sample from the Turtle's brain. Like, shoves something up his nose, extracts something, and it looked like afterwards that the Turtle, it almost had like a lobotomy done on it.
It looked like a dead turtle.
It could have been a dead turtle. They don't really show. Like, he just locks the thing up. There's some blood
coming
out of his face,
and then he's down. And then what? And then what are we left with?
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So Wells is definitely willing to do whatever it takes to get Jesse back, and that may mean taking out the Flash team, and Barry especially.
Yeah, you pointed something out, because I automatically assumed if he's taking a piece of his brain, I'm thinking Siler from Heroes. Maybe he's going to try to analyze that.
I think that would be a good way
and utilize it against Zoom. But you pointed out, what if he's just taking out the equation that could stop Zoom?
Right. Yeah, he's just making sure that Barry and the team are not going to be able to stop Zoom.
Right, because he said he would do whatever it takes, and that includes possibly the possibility that he's going to help Zoom destroy Barry to get his daughter back.
But I really kind of hope that they're not going to let Wells go down that villain path all the way. Yeah. I'm hoping that what he's doing is trying to find a way to stop Zoom. Because you got to know, if anybody's had to pay money to some bully or anything like that, they're not going to stop once they get what they want. No. They're going to keep asking for stuff. And I'm pretty sure Wells is smart enough to think about that.
Yeah? He's a smart guy. Yeah. So Zoom's there's got to be something happening there. We had a little bit of soap opera action there with
there was
Jay Garrick and
Dr. Snow. Dr. Snow. Yeah, I keep going Danielle Panabaker, but I don't no, that's not her character's name. Right. But Yeah, that was kind of fun. I like how they're kind of getting a little close. That's fun. But the one thing that did break my heart is Patty and Barry are no longer a thing, and that was all Barry's fault. That was all Barry's fault. Barry was stupid. Barry was an idiot.
He was a young punk.
Yeah, well, he's like,
look, girl, check it out. I'm the Flash. That's an
never said
opener.
It.
That's
he never
how you
said
start.
If
you want to get those
he's
digits,
just hemming and hawing, just like, well, there's something really important I want to tell you.
The first thing out of your mouth is, so I see you drinking a Diet Coke there. Did you know I'm the Flash?
Yeah, that should be like the next thing you say.
By the way,
why is that so hard to say?
I'm the fastest man alive.
Check this out. Watch this. Hey, baby. I'm the Flash. That's
that.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
You would think that would work.
No. Barry drags his feet as if the turtle is still affecting him. So stupid.
I think we should get together and
So
kiss.
Barry, you don't deserve a girl like Patty. Nope. That's all there is to it. Nope. Patty was awesome.
Nope.
She said it right there. It's like, what girlfriend's going to put up with this kind of crap?
I'm a pretty awesome girlfriend. I was like,
and she is.
She pretty much is.
Yeah, she's awesome. She put up with a lot of crap. And Barry, sorry, buddy, you don't get to be the happy guy anymore. Oliver Queen may have, his girlfriend may have lost, the ability to walk around and stuff, but at least he still has
that
one.
Important. She ain't going nowhere.
Barry sucks. Barry sucks. Okay,
so
but anyway,
the next episode of Flash is going to be the Reverse Flash Returns, because we saw at the very end there that Eobard Thawne
shows up,
is back.
He doesn't look angry. He doesn't look angry. He's kind of like, hey, how did I get here? As opposed to, where is the Flash? I must kill him.
There was nothing sinister about his return. It was just kind of a, what the?
Which is probably not going to end well, because he's going to run into Barry, and Barry's going to try and take him out.
What was in this?
Yeah, exactly. He got shanghaied into the past. That's probably what happened. So, one more thing we want to throw out there. Supergirl is going great. Supergirl's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, the DC stuff that's coming on TV. If you haven't seen Supergirl, sweet mother of pearl, you need to be watching this. What effect? The same team that threw together Flash went ahead and did this on ABC. CBS.
Yeah,
on
make
CBS.
sure you get it on CBS.
So you need to make sure you're watching that, because that whole thing, there's a little bit of a soap opera feel.
But I think the soap opera feel in Supergirl is way easier to handle than on any of the other shows. I don't know if it's just because it's mostly focused around female protagonists, and that's where some of that stuff's coming in.
That's sexist.
It may sound that way a little bit, but they deliver it a lot better. I feel like the emotional contracts that they have with each other seem a little more real, as opposed to when some of the guys come on screen and they're trying to show emotional range. I just don't see it.
The whole thing works well because you've got an alien who is trying to pretend to be human. So here that drama would really kick in, because she's spent 12 years of her life on a separate planet, and now she's trying to learn how to fit in, how to appear human. That's where that soap opera feel works. So
I think so.
If you're not watching Supergirl, that is something we're going to have to make a whole new show.
There is a human aspect to Supergirl that you don't get on any other superhero thing, because the two super protagonists you have in this, Martian Manhunter and Supergirl, are both aliens. So they're constantly exploring what it's like to be a human. I think that's a great thing that you don't really see. Like, they're talking about what's it like to be human and get superpowers. Well, what's it like to never be human? Like, they're just not.
Yeah, that's a heck of a task for those writers to put together.
And they get to explore it every week. This is one reason I like these TV shows more than the movies, because
we're
the
getting
TV
more,
shows
and
get
we've got the Legends of Tomorrow.
Ready
to drop. I think we're gonna have to end up making a whole new show.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to make a whole new show out of this thing.
There's gonna have to be.
Who knows what could happen? World peace, something like that. We're gonna bring everybody together.
Dogs and cats
solve world
living together.
Mass hysteria. Hey man, Ghostbusters is probably my favorite movie ever. But with that in mind, hey, if you're not checking out a lot of the comic book stuff on TV, check it out. Agent Carter was good.
I have to watch this.
Supergirl's good.
It is.
Getting ready
Legends
for Daredevil in March.
Good.
Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole show about all this comic book stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Luke Cage getting his own deal. Punisher.
Punisher is gonna get a new one. Oh, that Marvel Knights thing's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Their own Netflix. Wow, and we've got Iron Fist coming.
It's looking good for guys. It's going
to be a fun year. Happy New Year, guys. Welcome back to Two Cranky Guys. As always, that's Ty.
This is still Will.
Always will. Woo!